I've got the microphone pointed at Ernest rather than you, so
it's not as
slightly better.
so it's not as.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of noise there. That's the dog. I don't think there's much we can do about that. We've got a ticking clock.
Shut up!
About that.
Yeah, do you want me to take that in the kitchen?
Check it up.
Is it easier to take that in the kitchen? Where am I looking?
There. Peaky Blinder.
Oh, yeah. Quite loud, though, isn't it?
Yep.
But I mean, we've got other things as well. The window's open, but it's going to have to stay open because of the heat and smoke, etc. So it's no big deal.
Oh, excuse me.
So what I'm going to just get is some verbal consent. The camera's rolling. Ernest, you give your consent for this to be filmed. You've mentioned you want your face to be anonymised, so I've agreed that we're going to blur you out, and you're going to have an opportunity to see this before you decide if anyone else is allowed to see it. Yeah.
Confirm.
You give your consent for that.
Yeah.
Potsy, you've already gave consent, and essentially you're the director of this film, really. So your consent's already we've already got that.
It's already done, yeah.
So then, I'm going to try and take a back seat. Potsy, if you could maybe essentially just try and conduct an interview with Ernest.
Yeah.
How did he get here? What help have you provided him with, etc.
Why is
See
he
where
here
it
and not
goes.
at the social?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
See where it goes from there.
Okay. You want me to roll off why I started doing it first, or?
You've done that, haven't you?
Yeah, I often
You've kind of done
Yeah.
that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Couple of times. I think if we just do this as a separate thing, you know.
So not just like say I started it off like 2017.
Yeah,
just
If
to get
it
it
eases you
just
into
to get
it,
it rolling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My arm shot.
You are, yeah.
We ready?
It's ready.
Well, I started this project off in 2017 called Saving People Shuttle Project to help people like Ernest that's got nowhere to go, nowhere else to turn to. Ernest came to me just over a week ago, maybe, was it? A couple of weeks now?
Yeah.
He rang my number, got it on the website, didn't you? Because he was being kicked out of
A hostel.
a hotel, was it? Was it
Yeah,
a hotel,
like a
bed and
hostel.
breakfast
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing?
Yeah.
Which was set up by Migrant Help, I think. What it was, you'd stayed out or something, hadn't you?
I mean, it's like a temporary accommodation.
Temporary accommodation. You tell us like why what they was kicking you out for, really.
Oh, because you're not allowed to stay outside 24 hours.
Yeah.
So,
He'd
mean-
he'd gone to football or something, football practice.
yeah.
He
And I stayed out with my friends.
stayed out with his friends
Yeah.
for one night, didn't you? He's gone back and they said your room's no longer available. Obviously, we've got somewhere to stay. He says, well, no, not really. He said, I've just stayed out with one of my friends because we've been doing football sort of thing, haven't you? And then so they took his room off him. So he's rang my number, and then you came here, didn't you?
Yeah.
How's it been since you've been here? You've been okay? You've been welcomed, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just tell us how you got into the situation anyway. How you became to come here in the first place to the UK or whatnot? Or
I mean, I came here with a visa, but at the moment I'm trying to like have a full status in the UK. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. How long have you been over here now?
I've been here like for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
He's not entitled to any sort of benefits at the moment either. He's not got no share code. He's no share code over here.
Yeah. Even is it NI?
NI number. He's got no NI number. So we're going to try and sort that out. So we've got that out at the moment. Aspen card at the moment. Isn't it? You only get £10 per month on that or something. Don't you? Or £10 a week or something.
Probably they're gonna cut it soon as well.
Yeah. So that's that. I've also had probably had about 150. I don't know. Don't keep count anymore. Well, probably about 150, maybe 200 people go through my doors since I've been here. So it's a bit of a rotation of people. Normally get them sorted out depending on what sort of. I mean, everybody's different, aren't they? You see, so. I got one sorted out with walking the wounded because he'd been in the military. I think it was last year I had a Polish chap who's now in the caravan. and he came in the snow. I mean, he walked 10 miles to get here because he had nowhere to go. He's now got status now though, so he's allowed to work. He's allowed to claim benefits and use the National Health Service just as anybody else from the UK is allowed to do, sort of thing. So had Sonny come to us as well. She'd been kicked out off her uncle. Don't know how long ago that was now. A good few months ago. So don't know what else I need to say.
What's the usual process that would happen? So somebody comes to stay with you, and then what is it that you try and do for them?
Well, they ring me up and if I've got any space available, either in the caravan or I've got a spare couch or something. I'll ask them obvious questions. Have you got any addiction issues and that? I mean, it doesn't really bother me if they've got addiction issues anyway. I just won't allow it in my house to be going on. Don't mind them having a drink as long as they're not getting K-line every night in my house. I mean, I don't mind people smoking a bit of weed. You know what I mean? Never seen Bob Marley running around with an axe, did you? Anything else I won't allow in. Certain crimes people may have committed, I won't let in, obviously for obvious reasons. So I've got safety of other people within my house as well, what I've got to consider. So sometimes I'll have to do a background check on them, you know what I mean, if I've got any concerns or worries. But normally, most people just walk down here, or if I've got any money to get them here, I'll pay for a taxi to get them here if I've got money on the day. There's no criteria as long as they treat my house with respect. Tidy up after themselves, and I'm not having to run around after them. And I've got to try and be willing to help themselves a little bit and start making phone calls along with myself to different organisations what might be able to help. Like Migrant Help may be able to help him again if we try and ring them at some point. Like local councils and that, maybe depending on where they're from, or we just get problems all the time with certain people that come with the local connection. I mean, if Paul, just for example, somebody called Paul turns up and he's lived in Bury for a year, then he's lived in Salford for a year, and he's lived somewhere else for a year. Out of the 5 years, he's lived in completely different communities because he's been working in that area. Something the jobs fell through, and now he's in Middleton. Now he's got no local connection to anywhere, but he's not been anywhere specifically for 2 years flat. You know what I mean? So nobody will accept the criteria for him. They'll say no, you don't meet the criteria. You've got no local connection, which is completely bonkers. Really, it's a stupid rule. So I don't know how to get around that sometimes. I mean, if they do get a job within the area, then that's a local connection. You know what I mean? But if they've got no family and stuff within the area and stuff, and they've not lived in that area for a certain time, they just like to pass the buck all the time, and that's every single council I've ever come across.
Ernest, could I ask you a few questions?
Go on.
How old are you? Do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah.
And you've been in the UK 5 years?
Yeah.
You came here when you were 19?
Yeah.
In the 5 years that you've been here, do you think you've been fairly treated?
I don't have a choice. It's not my country, isn't it? So I don't have a choice. Like everything I see, it is what it is.
So you kind of have to just take it in your stride and just
Yeah.
kind of roll with it.
Just take it as it is. Yeah. So that's it. I don't like. I take full responsibility of everything that happened. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
What is it you're hoping to achieve or do?
Me, I'm gonna be an athlete. That's it.
Did you say you want to be happy?
No, I want to be an athlete.
An athlete?
Yeah.
What do you do exactly?
So football.
Football.
Mm.
And that was why you got your room taken off you in the previous place you were living, because you were playing football and you stayed out.
Yeah, and so many restrictions. Yeah, because the Migrant Help were the provider of the, I think the establishment, but so many restrictions. And then I'm a kind of person that goes to Northwell sometimes, to play with my mates, because I play for Conway. So sometimes I do come back late as well. So, but so many restrictions, so I have to asking for help.
When you told me, he said it's like being in a prison sort of thing, you know. I remember
Yeah, kind of like
telling
crazy. I hate being
what time to be in and
what time to be in and what time to, go out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem.
you can't move around freely, can you?
Yeah, I
You can't stay out at night. So if he was to stay here the night, his room's took off him, sort of thing. So it's a bit.
So that's why I called him.
So you've been here now for about a week.
Yeah, about a week.
How long do you think you might be here?
To be honest, I don't want to be like a parasite to him. So I just want to get a place as soon as possible.
You just want to start getting on with your life, don't you? Eventually, don't you?
Yeah,
So,
because I don't want to be a burden to him, like a
Not a
parasite.
burden to
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. But I think he has tried for me, so yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at the logistics. I suppose this is for you as well, Potty.
Yeah.
It's a small flat.
Yeah.
Where does everyone stay? Do you have a bed?
No, I have two options. So sometimes I can crash here. I can crash in the caravan as well. So
there's a spare place in the caravan. There's a double bed in the caravan. for
yeah,
you.
like where the couple are living, isn't it?
Yeah. The two couches. They've got the corner unit couch. They use the puffies as well to use as a bed. As you can see with this one, this is obviously somebody uses this as a bed. I mean, if it's freezing out there and somebody's not been helped by, I mean, it's supposed to be helped by sweats, but that doesn't always kick in. Some people don't get that help. You know what I mean? Even when they ring them. So if it's completely freezing and there's floor space, I'll put somebody up on my floor as well. You know what I mean? It's better than outside freezing to death. You know what I mean? I've lost a few friends outside in them streets in the freezing cold, so I don't want to be responsible for putting the phone down on somebody but wanted help. You know what I mean? It's not fair, is it? And then I shouldn't have to do it. But if I wasn't to answer the phone and somebody's out there and it's below zero, and they was to pass away, I wouldn't feel very nice about that, really.
Okay, so you're helping Ernest. Is anyone helping you to help him? Like the council, or I mean, are you getting anything?
No, I don't get any money for it. I'm just on benefits myself at the moment, so I just use whatever funding I've got available to help people. And some people have to go to food bank and stuff, obviously, because I'm only on minimal amount anyway. So I've got my own kids to support as well. So just do what I can with what I've got.
So what do you all do for meals, Ernest? Do you cook together, or do you just kind of look after yourself? Or?
Sometimes, like Fanga will have a girl here, like my girlfriend, so sometimes she does it. And sometimes he does it as well. Sometimes I do, a little bit. But I'm not a good cook, by the way.
You're a good cook?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
I'm just being honest.
You're learning though, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm learning.
We have a bit of a mash-up sometimes, we throw anything in.
Yeah.
We had a Sunday dinner though, didn't we, just recently? We had a nice Sunday dinner.
Yeah. That was classic. I mean, he did a Sunday dinner. That was everyone got. You got as well, so everyone was like happy.
Yeah.
Nothing like a home cooked Sunday dinner, is it? Okay, Ernest, what would you like to say?
I just want to say to him that he's a good person. I mean, we need more of him in UK. You get what I'm saying? People like him, and I mean, he needs to be a politician. You get what I'm saying? Like
No,
a mayor. You get what I'm saying?
Oh no!
Because I mean, he has the. I mean, he can relate with the poor communities. You get what I'm saying? Like poor people and people with disabilities, and you get what I'm saying? So he can relate with them. You get what I'm trying to say? So he should be a public holder. You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got the kind of the empathy to be able to understand what your situation's like and people like you in your situation.
Yeah, like he has compassion, isn't it? Yeah. So he can be a public holder, and do you know the funny thing? He has been doing this solo. You know what I'm saying? No one helping him.
Well, that's what he said, didn't it? When he first seen me, I met him at the bus stop. He says, because he had my badge on and stuff. He says, "Oh, did you get help and all that?" I said, "Well, not really." Went, "Who does it?" Then I said, "Me." He went, "What?" He thought it was something like official sort of thing, like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm quite shocked, wasn't you?
Potsy, what would make life easy for you?
if it was to give me a building or something, the government give me a building or something, and I could run it. I mean, I've been in some of these shelters what the government put you in, on the halfway houses and bed and breakfast, and you won't put a rat in them, you know what I mean? I'd rather sleep on the streets sometimes, you know what I mean? But if you don't take it, then you've made yourself intentionally homeless anyway, so you've got to take it, regardless whether you want it or not. I mean, you go in the lion's den where you don't want to go, but you've got to do it just to grin and bear and do it. But if it was to give me a building, I mean, some of the squats I've run, if the police have come in and gone, wow, said, this is better than some of the places that are actually run by the government, you know, you should get some sort of funding sort of thing. But some of the officers didn't agree with what we're doing, but, you know, you can't please all, and I'm not here to please anybody anyway, you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with about pleasing people, it's about helping people in the first place, isn't it? And if the government did that in the first place, I wouldn't even be here, would I? I wouldn't have to do it, would I? I'd be getting on with my own stuff anyway. So
you raise a good point there as well. So, I mean, I've had social housing and council flats before, and you're not allowed to have like just loads of people kind of crashing in your flat all the time. Right? Do they give you any hassle about it?
Well, my landlady, she knows what I do, you know what I mean? She knows I help people, as long as the rent's paid.
Is this a private
It's
rent?
private, yeah. As long as the rent's paid, she's not too fussed, as long as, you know, the house doesn't get wrecked and there's no noise and nuisance and disturbances going on all the time, which there never is, you know what I mean? So, she's not bothered. I mean, I pay me council tax, so, you know what I mean? That's paid. Nothing, it shouldn't really affect me, really.
Yeah.
I don't get any money off anybody. I mean, he doesn't get any money anyway, as you already know. A lot of people that come here don't get any money because they've got no resource to public funds. So, even if they was to get any money, you know what I mean, from it, like if they was to start getting benefits, I'm not going to take anything off them because I want them to save the money so they've got some sort of support. Then later on, they can say they get up to, I don't know, probably need about £1,500 now to get a property, wouldn't you? Then they've got that bond, haven't they, and the month in advance. So I'd rather them save the money than give it me. If they was to give it me, I'd put it to one side, which I've done for people in the past, so they can do that. So you know what I mean. And they've got something themselves, then, haven't they?
So
just a matter. We're not going to be dropping you in it, showing.
No.
Anyway, are you?
No.
The council aren't going to look at it and go.
Well, it's been in like mainstream media anyway. Right. So,
yeah.
I mean, the job centre can't do nothing about it, really. I'm not taking any money off anybody. If I was taking any money off, or if there was somebody else here what was on universal credit living here, then that could be an issue probably. So, the only person who's on universal credit is the lad in the caravan, and he's in the caravan. He doesn't live in the house, does he? So, there's nothing. I don't take any money off him either, anyway. You know what I mean? It's costing me money to power the caravan, so. Yeah.
So, Ernest, you don't receive any money?
£10 a moment.
£10 a week, I think it is, on an Aspen card.
You get £10 a week?
Yeah.
And with that £10 a week, you're expected to feed yourself, transport yourself.
It's a joke, isn't it?
I'll joke easily.
And is that standard practice, do you think? Is that a lot of people in your situation?
I think what it was is because he was in the hotel and he was getting fed in the hotel, then you get the £10 a week. But if you're not in the hotel, I think you get, how much is it if you're not in the hotel? £47 something.
Yeah, 45 I think.
45 is it? Yeah. 45 on the Aspen card to last you a week. But if you're not in the hotel, then you need more money anyway because you're eating out, aren't you? Because if you're homeless, it's takeaways. Takeaways are nothing, in it. So £45 is not going to last you a couple of days, is it? To eating takeaways. If you was to eat like healthily, you know what I mean, 3 meals a day, like you're supposed to be doing, it's not going to last you 2 days, is it? Really, eating out.
Okay. You got any more questions?
No, he said what he wants, and he said what he's doing, and it's a spouse.
Do you want Sonny in it or not? Or
It's up to Sonny.
Yeah.
up to you?
We know.
Unless you want to, or do you want to or not?
And you two are a couple, did you say?
Yeah, they're together
that's my
now. Yeah.
girlfriend.
It's not Vodafone bringing people together now. It's Potsy bringing people together.
Matchmaker. All right, yeah, we can swap over. Let Sonny have a go. I'm just going to leave this rolling and.
Just to practice.
Okay, Sonny, can you just shift a little bit that way? A little bit more that way. All right, that's spot on. Yeah. Okay. So, would you like to tell us your situation as much as you're willing to share about that? How you ended up here?
Like Patsy said, I came here to like continue my studies, and I was with my uncle. I was supposed to be with my uncle, but because of some family stuff, family fights between them, he didn't want to take me in, so I landed on the street. So that's why I contacted Patsy, saying that I needed help and if he has a place to stay. So that's why I'm here most of the time, just because of some family stuff going on.
So you were on the streets, or were going to be on the streets?
Yeah.
Did you have to spend any nights out on the streets?
I spent about like 10 days, like running around trying to find somewhere. Sometimes I had stayed like at my workplace that I found, but most of the time, during that time, I was like calling different numbers, but none of them pick up really. So only he picked up. So that's why I'm here.
Where did you find Potsy's number?
On the internet, just Googled it on the internet, like saving like any shelters around Manchester.
Okay. So have you got some sort of web? I mean, what is it? A Facebook page? or
I've
something?
got a website, Saving People Shelter Project website.
Sorry, say that again.
Saving People Shelter Project website. Got that. It's on Google Maps as well, so you just type it in. There's several locations and my number's there as well. It'll take you to the website as well. So that's how people get in contact with me. I've got a couple of Facebook pages as well, a page and a group. So yeah, that's how.
Okay. Yeah. So how long have you been here, Sonny?
About 4 months now. I came end of October. So about 4 months now. Yeah.
Well, she was originally from Africa, aren't you? Well, she was born in Africa. She was raised in Germany, and she came over. Was it 13? When she came when he was 13? Was it?
Yeah, I did high school here.
She did a high school there at age 13, and I think in 2020, I think you went back to see your dad or something here in Germany. Obviously, COVID restrictions was all in place and stuff then, and money obviously was tight for everybody around then as well, so she couldn't get back. So 2020 you come back, didn't 2022 you come back, didn't you? And obviously she's not been here 5 years solid. I mean, she's got a national insurance number, she's left to the school then, left school, so you automatically get it. But because she's not been here 5 years solid, we're having a bit of problems with the immigration people and stuff in the Home Office about status at the minute. She's now got a temporary share code, so she can work if she wants. She should be entitled to benefits, but they refused. Don't know on what grounds, because on the temporary thing it says she's entitled to claim benefits, she's entitled to NHS, she's entitled to everything that a normal citizen would be entitled to temporarily until they get this, until they give her status or not. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I should imagine she will get status because she's, like I say, she's done her education here. And she was here near enough 5 years solid, but she just had that little bit of a break sort of thing, didn't she? So you should be sorted soon, shouldn't you? I think we've waited a few months now, haven't we, for this share code.
Yeah.
We've now got a bank account now. That was a hard thing to do, wasn't it? We tried different bank accounts, but you got one now. I think NatWest, you got one, didn't you? In the end, because she was working at somewhere for the agency, and he wasn't giving her money because she didn't have any bank account. So I rang them up and said, look, I said, can you put it into our account, so the money that you owed her, until she's got a bank. Oh, we can't do that. Immigration and stuff like that. They said through slavery laws. So I said, so I googled it and I thought, there is no law that exists. So I said, well, if this is slavery law, like, you know, well, you're holding the money back for her. She's done the work, and you like been the slave driver, you know. They wouldn't give it you, would they? But in the end, I wrote them a big massive essay of a letter and said that we'll start legal proceedings, or we'll get somebody to start legal proceedings if you don't pay the money. They soon coughed up then, didn't they?
Yeah.
So,
It's just insane, all these hoops you have to jump through, and you know that you really shouldn't have to, I suppose. But
well, she wants to work, you know what I mean? Why can't they just let her get on with stuff. You know, I mean, Ernest wants to work. I mean,
You get medical help.
I don't think Ernest can. He can if you walk into a walking centre or something like that. I mean, I know our doctors up here. He'll text anyone. It doesn't really matter. But you've got and there's one a doctor in Manchester will take anyone who's homeless or got immigration problems as well. Yeah.
Okay, Sonny, so what is it you're hoping for? What do you hope will happen?
Well, hopefully I'll get my EU settlement quick, because they keep asking for random papers.
Yeah.
It's not either important or it's just some stuff that I already gave in to make everything long. So I'm hoping to get that one so I can literally also get my own stuff sorted, get out of here, because 4 months nearly taking a bit of a space here, so I want to just get out and continue my studies and everything. So that's what I'm hoping for.
What were you studying?
I wanted to do criminology and law. I wanted to become a lawyer.
And that's what you still want to do?
I still want to do that, yeah.
How far did you get into your studies?
I didn't. I left after high school, so I didn't really do college or anything, so I still have to go back to college first.
So you would like to get a bit more settled and then go to college?
Yeah, because I still have to save some money to pay for the college stuff and everything.
Do you mind me asking how old you are, Sonny?
Yeah, I'm 19.
So there's still plenty of time, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm the type of person that want to do everything quickly, so I guess I'm learning patience.
Okay. Sonny, I'm going to give the floor to you, and if there's anything you would like to say, then this is your opportunity to say it.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. All I can say is I can only say a big thank you to Potsy, because he doesn't have to take me in or trust me. He barely knows me at all. So taking me in and looking after me and making sure everything's going, what do you call it? Everything going perfectly is the only thing I can say right now, because I can't really thank the government. They're just making everything long. They say they're trying to help, but I'm still in the first step I've made. So that's the only thing I can say.
Everything just seems to take forever, especially with the immigration side of things. You know what I mean? I don't see why. I mean, if she's wanting to work, she's not. I went in with Greg, the Polish lad, to the job centre when we was trying to get him his benefits. He had nothing. He'd come out of work, and that was obviously because of COVID and all the rest of it. And he had some other problems with where he was staying. He was staying in somebody's room, what we were renting out to him, and that come to an end. So we went to the job centre in Middleton to try and claim some benefits. He had his temporary share code, same as Sonny, saying that he's entitled to it and all the rest of it. So I mean, he's worked about 18 years or something, maybe over here, Greg. So he's paid into the system, so he should have been entitled to something back. You know what I mean? He's not done anything. So he's paid all his tax and national insurance, and now he wants a little bit of help. Well, that help wasn't available. They said we went and seen the lady, his work coach, and he said, "Oh, well, we're going to have to find out whether you've got leave to remain within the UK." So I said, "Well, he hasn't at the minute, as you can see, but he's got his temporary stuff here, which says he's entitled to it." So I said, "Well, we'll have to wait for it coming back from the head office." So I said, "Okay." In the meantime, she says, "Go over there and have a look at the jobs board. There's some jobs over there you might be interested in." So we went and over and had a look at the job board, and he said, "Oh, there's a job that I can do, forklift truck driving." He said, "All training will be provided, and no experience needed." He said, "Well, I've got it all. I don't need to do any of the training." So I said to security, I said, "Well, how's he go about getting this?" So I said, "Which one?" I said, "That one there." So then this other bloke walks from behind the desk and says, "Oh, is it this one is after this job?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Who's his work coach?" I said, "That lady over there." He said, "Oh, well, obviously if he's still dealing with her over there, that means he's not got his right to remain, or it's not come through back yet, so he can't go for this job." I went, "Whoa, hang on a minute." I said, "He doesn't need to claim any benefits." He said, "Well, he's got to be claiming benefits before he can get that job." I'm like, "Well, all this can bloody end, you know." He doesn't want to claim any money off you. He wants that job there. Give us the number then for it then. No, we can't do that. He's got to be on benefits. I said, he might not even be able to get the benefits yet. Just give him the job. No. It's finished with, isn't it? He doesn't even have to see you again. He's back in work then. Well, No, he's got to claim benefits first. So he's got. Then everyone will be going, "Oh, look at him! He's just come over to claim benefits and that." You know, and he just wants a job. He's got to claim the benefits first before he can get the job. I just don't understand it. The system's completely up its arse, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, there's no argument. For that,
It makes no sense, does it? No.
Okay, Potsy, is there anything else you'd like to say? Or I mean, imagine if you're putting this video together with some of the things that you've already said in over at the Ark.
Okay.
Is there anything else you imagine you'd want to capture?
No, I just think those above need to have a big overhaul of everything, don't they? And that's in with every system, and the housing, even your drug and alcohol places. I mean, everything. The whole system needs a big, massive shake-up, doesn't it? Because nothing's working, is it? Or it might be. I think it's working in their favour because somebody's making money out of it somewhere, aren't they? So it might be working for somebody, but it's not working for the people. And eventually, the people, you can only push them down for so far before there's a big uprising, and nobody wants that, do they? Nobody wants anarchy. Nobody wants a big, massive riot going on. But you can't just keep kicking people down. The ordinary people, it's not just hitting the ordinary people now. It's hitting the middle class. When that starts happening, you know what I mean? Everyone starts grouping together. Then we don't want that, do we? We want peace, don't we? We want to just live. You know what I mean?
Do you think that the problems you're getting here doing this are the problems what anyone faces, or do you think that some of them are specific to you because you're doing this?
What do you mean? As in
Like
what?
obstacles you do come across?
No,
This is just it for everyone.
it's for everybody, isn't it? I mean, if you yourself was to come homeless tomorrow morning, you'd be facing exactly the same.
I got
hurdles.
Liverpool, I did, and I
That's
got
what I'm saying.
Liverpool.
Yeah, so I'm saying it
No.
doesn't matter who you are, you know. I mean, you could be in a nice secure job, or you think you're in a nice secure job, and then next day, factory's gone under or something, or been bought out by someone else. That's it. Couple of months later, you've still not got a job. Your house is gone. Your landlord's not going to wait for his money. Section 21, bang, you're on the streets. You might have only just moved to Manchester. You know what I mean? You might have been living, I don't know, in Birmingham or something like that, or you might have done like travelling, doing your work. And then you come up against that brick wall. Well, where's your local connection? Well, I have lived in Manchester for a couple of months and I was living there. You're in stum then, aren't you? Because you've got nowhere to turn to. You can't ring up the Salvation Army like you could back in the day and say, look, have you got any rooms? They'd say either yes or no, wouldn't they? Now you've got to ring the council. They hold all the cards for every single shelter you can think of. So if I want to go to the Salvation Army, I've got to meet the criteria of the councils. And if I don't meet the criteria of the councils, I don't go in any shelter. I'm on the street, so... you know what I mean? It's wrong. And plus, half the places they put you as well. I mean, aren't they supposed to be regulated? I mean, they put me into that place up there in Middleton. I'll not mention the name, but it's a shithole, you know what I mean? Does anybody go out and view these places, what they're putting us in? You know what I mean? I mean, it was like living in a landfill. You know what I mean? It was horrible. So, I just don't get it, really. So.
All right.
Shut up, you! Sorry.
My mate was in Val's, in Ancoats, and he had slugs on his walls in his room. Slugs.
I can believe it.
Water dripping down and...
Some of the places I've been in,
fire burnt down now, hasn't it?
some of the places I've been, the cockroaches don't want to even live there, you know. Too dirty for them.
When I was made homeless in Leeds, right, I suppose I was quite lucky because the hostel that I went into was called Holdforth Court in Leeds, right, and it was quite nice. It was purpose built as a hostel. You had your own room, it was clean, it was staffed 24 hours a day. And then they helped you get a flat because, as you probably know, once you're in a hostel, you go to the top of the housing list, even if you're a single man, because it might be a
Band A or Band 1, whatever.
Yeah, so it took me 4 months to get a flat. I got a council flat in Leeds. So they were very helpful, do you know what I mean? And it was like quite a clean hostel. If anyone was violent in there, which occasionally happened, they were kicked out. They didn't try and stop you from using drugs. They weren't, because everyone was on drugs in there, including myself. So obviously they weren't going to bother with that. But it was quite, as far as hostels go, I mean, I've heard some horror stories and stuff. But the one I was in was actually all right. So, and that's my only experience of being in one.
Well, now they won't even put you. Say I'm under the age of 35 and I'm homeless. Yeah, I've got this problem. Just recently, I got my friend a flat on the next block. Because he's under the age of 35, his rent's £595, but they're only willing to give him like £300 a month. So he's got to pay all of his money what he gets off Universal Credit to the rent. You know what I mean? Because they'll only give him single person's allowance or room rate for anybody under the age of 35. So basically, anyone under the age of 35, you're not allowed your own flat. You've got to have shared accommodation. Oh, you know what I mean? If you're over 35, you're entitled to a flat. How does that work? You know, I don't know. Don't get it. Over the age of 25 on benefits, you're allowed maximum amount you can on Universal Credit. But housing allowance is different. I don't get how they work that. Does a 34-year-old man not need the same needs as a 35-year-old man? I don't get that.
A lot of things have changed, haven't they,
Yeah.
over the years,
Yeah.
and seem to be changing for
Yeah.
the worse.
For the worse,
you know?
yeah. I mean, I think it's hit and miss sometimes we ring the council up. I mean, my friend the other day said, how do I go about getting somewhere? So I said, it's bloody hard, you know what I mean? I said, but he's from Salford. I said, you've got local connections in Salford. I said, try ringing them. So he's rang them. Within the space of a couple of hours, they banged him in Parkview, in what do you call it, Cheetah Mill there. He's now in there. And then he went over but he's not in there now. He was over there on the weekend, and now he's now in a shared accommodation now. I mean, how he did that, I'll never know. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think, is it the person you get at the other end of the phone, or is it just that day that they had somewhere? You know, because I'm going through this all the time. People ringing up the council, and they never get it that fast. But certain people sometimes do. You know what I mean? Is it just luck of the draw? Sometimes I think. Sometimes, you know what I mean, pull a name out the hat. You know, oh, he's got it.
I think luck of the draw combined with luck
Yeah.
of the person you speak to,
Yeah.
and their willingness to help.
Yeah, but I've been on the phone sometimes with some of these housing people, and they're not very nice. Some of them, you know what I mean, and the way they're talking to you, as if it's your fault. You know, it's not. No. And sometimes you do get somebody on the other end what's willing to try and go that extra bit for you. You know what I mean? They should be in the job. The other person what's not really so helpful shouldn't even be in that job anyway, should they? Really, you know. You're not going into the job to help people, and it's only about the pay packet at the end of it. Don't be in that job. Go and do something else. Go work in a factory or something. You know what I mean? Don't be on the front line on frontline services if you're not willing to help the people what you're employed to help. You know.
Do you ever think about working yourself for an agency or something, and maybe having a budget to help people in more capacity?
I don't know. Would I come part of the problem then? So I don't know. Would I be the one ticking boxes and the exercise ticking boxes? You know what I mean? Would I enjoy doing that? No. Because I've been working off a hymn sheet. Well, I've been told to do then. You know what I mean? I'd have to put the phone down. I'd probably be sacked within a day anyway. Somebody would be saying, "Oh, like I've got nowhere to go." Right? Neither have we. You know what I mean? I'd be like, "Well, can you come up ours?" You know what I mean? That's it. Sacked straight away. Cross the boundaries. You know. I'd have no job then anyway, would I? Back to square one. So.
You know, Spin, supporting people in
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
They were doing what Potsy were doing, just letting people crash anywhere,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
And then they started getting pressured. They had to start
By
ticking
who?
boxes. By the council.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, they started checking for fire regulations
Yeah.
and things like that. You know, just pecking at them, made them tick boxes. Then they got status, and now they've got hardly anyone staying there because they've got all them regulations to stick to. Like, can't have people there, can't have people there. You know, money started getting siphoned, and it's just collapsing.
That's all I ever get. I mean, when I took over the doctor's surgery in Eccles, I had a meeting with that was at the fire brigade's office in Eccles actually. There was loads of councillors and all different people, fire brigade, police, and all that lot. And that's what I was trying to do. Well, it's not purpose built for people living in there. So I said, listen, I said I've had an independent person come out. What is a top head fire dude? You know what I mean? And he's done a risk assessment of everything. Made sure all the fire extinguishers are in the right places, the fire blankets are in the right places, the elderly, or the ones what can't walk, so clever, are on the ground floor next to the fire exits. You know what I mean? And everything was done as it should be. But the guy at the fire brigade, oh no, we've said it's not acceptable. Only because I think they were being pressured by the council as well. You know what I mean? To get us out of there, a reason for us to get out. You know what I mean? Like, well, if you did something in the first place, then this place wouldn't exist, would it? You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Do you think we can wrap up there, do you think? Has got anything else you'd like to say?
I don't think so. That same meeting as well. I realised what it was. It was one person from the council, like, you know, she just insinuated like if we was to run it proper, you know, how much money could we make out of it, basically. So I thought, well, that's all it's about, then. That's just about the money, innit? And that's about the person there or that person there. It's just how much can we get out of that one and that one. If we can't get anything out of it, and he's just doing it for nothing, well, that's not good to us, is it, really? Oh. Which is wrong, really.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say?
Do you want to get a shot of the two of them on the tea?
You can get a photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't need a video.
Okay.
Okay, shall we wrap up there then for video?
Yeah,
Mick's,
I'll get a
Mick's
couple
going
of
to do some photographs if
photos.
everyone is
Can I get a shot of the
fairly
three of you?
comfortable.
four